Hey guys, it's OW5-70. Welcome back to another Beyblade X unboxing and review. Today we're going to be checking out the most recent Random Booster Select from Takara Tomy, that being Brachio Whip. Now going over the packaging quickly, as you can see it's your standard Random Booster Select packaging with the prize bay at the front along with the two recolors. And on the back of the box it gives you a full breakdown of the bay itself. So we have the Brachio lock chip, the outer overblade, the whip metal blade, and the wheel assist blade. Ratchet is 570, and then we have the narrow bit. So let's get into this random booster. So here is Brachio Whip out of the packaging. So another Random Booster Select. It's been a little while since we've gotten a Random Booster Select. Now this is fairly similar to the Clock Mirage Random Booster Select, where no matter which bay you get out of this Select Random Booster, you're going to be getting the exact same combo, which I think is really cool, and I'm glad they're continuing this since Clock Mirage. And of course, this is a CX expand bay, so the CX primary blade is broken apart even further. But let's now take a deep dive into all the parts that make up Brachio Whip. So first up we have the Brachio lock chip itself. So it's a standard CX lock chip, nothing too crazy, no metal, but love the motif of the Brachiosaurus on this. I know a lot of people have been waiting for a Dino Bay to get into the CX line, and this one definitely doesn't disappoint. I think the color choice as well looks great. I think blue and yellow is a really nice color choice for this, and it's kind of very iconic colors for the Brachio. But apart from that, it's your standard CX lock chip, nothing too crazy, but love the motif. I think that is definitely going to be really appealing for a lot of people. Next up, we have the outer overblade. So this is a 5-sided stamina type overblade. So this is going to be fairly well balanced. Now, shaping wise, it is kind of similar to the brake overblade that came with Bahamut Blitz, but unlike that, all the sides are symmetrical. There's not one side that is more unbalanced than the other. So this should be a pretty well balanced overblade if you're just wanting something a little bit more balanced and coordinated. And honestly, looks pretty cool. But apart from that, it's just a standard overblade that we're used to at this point. Still looks great though, and I think it should do pretty well. Next up we have the whip metal blade, so of course the main component that has all the metal in the blade. So this is a stamina type metal blade with 2 massive contact points. Now these massive contact points are supposed to represent the neck and the tail of the Brachiosaurus, which I think is pretty cool. Now a lot of the weight is also focused on the 2 most outer points of the blade. So this is meant to really help with deflecting attacks, and it actually can really deflect attacks really well, mainly from attack and balance types. Now, when it's up against stamina and defense types, that could be a different story. But honestly, this metal blade works really well with deflecting. I could honestly see some people potentially using whip in some attack type combos. But really nice metal blade. It's nice to get another stamina type overblade besides rage. It's definitely going to be really fun mucking around with this. But yeah, overall, really nice metal blade. Next up, we have the wheel assist blade. Now, this is a fantastic part to get here. Now, wheel is not a new assist blade. We first got this with the Cerberus Flame Random Booster, but this is the first reprint this blade has had. Very, very highly competitive assist blade right now. This has been used in a lot of CX combos, so really nice to see this finally get a reprint. And honestly should hopefully make this a lot more accessible. Well, when you're not dealing with scalpers. But either way, still a really great assist blade. Its round profile has really benefited a lot of CX combos right now. And to be able to get 3 new reprints of it, definitely very happy about that. And all 3 colors of this assist blade in this random booster are actually really nice. Next up, we have the 570 ratchet. Not a new part, we've gotten this part quite a bit now. So 5 attrition points at the 70 height, pretty decent ratchet. It can be a little bursty at times, but it is still a really nice stamina-orientated ratchet. Plus, it does see a good amount of competitive use. Probably not as much as 560, and probably may get supplanted when we see the 550 that just got leaked. But even still, really nice ratchet. It's definitely, I haven't really seen this ratchet in a little while, but definitely will work really well with Brachio Whip and other stamina type and balance type combos out there. Finally, for the bit, we have Narrow. So this is the brand new bit that we get with Brachio Whip. So Narrow is basically, in a way, a rush version of Ball. So similar to Rush, Low Rush, and Wedge, this has 10 gear teeth instead of the usual 12. So when this hits the extreme line, it's not going to be draining as much stamina. Now, it does have a much more narrower profile compared to Ball, which is very fitting. So it doesn't have as much surface area compared to the standard Ball bit. So you're going to be making a lot less contact with the stadium floor, which can help with stamina. And this bit does perform really well. Now, probably really the main problem with Narrow though, it can be a little tippy, similar to Wedge. So if you get hit in the wrong way, you're going to be getting tipped. But apart from that, this is a really nice stamina type bit. I definitely do see this potentially replacing some Ball bit and free Ball combos. But it's still a really nice bit, and I'm definitely keen to see how other people will react to this bit once they get their hands on it. With this combination of parts, it makes Brachio Whip a stamina type. So let's now also have a quick look at the two other recolors we get in this random booster. And here are the two recolors that we get in this random booster. So we first up have this really nice gold Brachio Whip, which I think looks really nice, but probably my least favorite. And the gold wheel assist blade looks great as well. The white, I'm not too sure why they chose the white 570. And then we got like a mustard brown Narrow, which I think does look pretty nice. But really the main one everyone wants is this black Brachio Whip. I think it looks absolutely sick. The black and the white looks great. And then you got a smoky black assist blade with the old black ratchet and bit. So yeah, really nice colors here. I definitely do think the black one is definitely the best out of the two really colors you can get. If you can't get your hands on the prize, I would say go for the black one. The gold one is nice though, but definitely kind of looks a bit odd when you compare it to the black. But let's now head over to the scales and weigh up all the parts that comes with Brachio Whip. Alright, let's now get some weights for Brachio. So, Narrow, this weighs 1.87, 570, 6.74, wheel weighs 7.03, one of the heaviest assist blades you can use right now. And then the Brachio lock chip, 1.72, that's around the average. Now for outer, that weighs 3.56, and then the whip metal blade, this weighs 27.81. That's in the same ballpark as other metal blades currently out right now, well, with the exception of Blitz. So all together, this primary blade weighs 31.39, so not too bad. So now let's put the bay together with wheel and the lock chip. So altogether, the blade weighs 40.17. So not a bad weight. Now a lot of that weight is coming from the assist blade. That's accommodating about 7 grams of it. But even still, 40 grams is not too bad for a bay. So let's now put the bay together. 570. And Narrow. So altogether, this Brachio Whip weighs 48.80. Now the other two, so the gold one, 48.52, and then the black one, 48.70. So pretty similar weights, the prize being the heaviest. But let's now head out to the stadium and do some test spins and some test battles. Alright, let's now do some test battles with Brachio Whip. Really actually pretty excited about this. Here we go. So now it's going to perform very similar to Ball. It is essentially just a rush version of Ball. It is a little tippy though, I'll say that, but being a stamina type, pretty much performing like other stamina types. I do think it is just nice to get another stamina type in CX, as to be honest, there's not a whole lot. I mean, there's what? Wizard Arc, Wolf Hunt, and Ragnarage, so this is like, well, also when you're not counting in Wriggle Kraken. So there's only really 4 CX stamina types, and this is the second CX expand. But I am curious to see how Brachio does. Like, just like, I'm not expecting it to really beat like Wizard Rod and Silver Wolf and Clock Mirage, as those are the 3 most dominant stamina types out right now. But I think it should still do pretty well. But let's now see how Brachio does against some opponents. Seeing a bit of the deflection on the blades. It's definitely deflecting the attacks pretty well. So that is it for my look at Brachio Whip. Really nice CX stamina type. It's nice to get another stamina type in CX. It's definitely been a little while. But it is not the best stamina type out there, obviously, when you compare it to some of the more dominant stamina types. But if you keep it within its own ecosystem and you don't have, say, Rod and Wolf and Clock on the field, this honestly would be really solid. Now, full breakdown of the parts, I mean, lock chip looks fantastic. The outer overblade is really nice and well balanced, should really help complement balanced metal blades. The whip metal blade has some really nice deflect potential and definitely has some attack potential as well. Nice reprint of wheel, definitely going to be great to be able to get several more wheels again. 570 is a pretty decent ratchet, despite being a pretty old part now. And narrow is a really solid stamina type bit. This is definitely going to be really popular with certain stamina type combos and could potentially replace some ball combos, even though it is a little tippy. But overall, this is a really satisfying stamina type, and this is honestly going to be a lot of fun to use if you aren't the biggest fan of using, say, Rod, Wolf, and Clock. Now, as for the two recolors we get in this random booster select, really nice as well. The gold, I do think, is the weakest out of this random booster. It just kind of doesn't look the best, even though I do think if you break them apart, the gold parts look great. But the black one looks phenomenal. This is definitely going to be a very popular color. I've seen a lot of people really want this black version over the prize, so this is probably going to be the most desired. And the colors of the parts, like when you, again, take them apart, look great and definitely will complement certain bays. But yeah, overall, I think the colors of this random booster are pretty good. There's definitely one that is definitely better than the other. But overall, really happy with the random booster select. So my final thoughts on this random booster select are really good. I really do like that we are getting the same parts for all three recolors again. That's definitely going to really make these random booster selects a lot more appealing, in my opinion. So even you just want one, you're going to be getting the exact same parts for all three, which is great. So I would say it is worthwhile to go and try to at least get one of these, but please do not pay anything more than the RRP if you can. I know it is pretty difficult to try and get your hands on Beyblade X products nowadays, but just please try your best to avoid the scalpers and resellers if you can, and try to get these for a reasonable price. And also support your local distributors. They have been doing an amazing job trying to meet the supply and demand, so go and support them as well if you can. But I definitely do recommend you pick this up, like I said, if you can. And this is definitely going to be a really fun beta to use if you are using CX. But that's going to do it for this review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And check out all my other friends' channels in the description below. So until then, I'll see you all in the next video.